The following program is a production of Naleo TV.
Today we're seeing what's going to be the most effective answer to the crisis we're having with fentanyl and opioid overdoses and the overdose crisis on the Big Island. This is the community rising up. This hasn't been settled by health professionals. It hasn't been settled by government. We know that the police do a good job. They can only intercept less than 15% of the fentanyl that comes in. This has been going on for 50 years. They're doing a great job on this island.
We're very excited today to really celebrate bringing awareness to our communities. And what we're seeing is just bringing awareness about fentanyl use in our communities and how it's really been devastating in our communities. So this walk is here to really celebrate our members in the community, and we're hoping that a lot of people show up and that a lot of people are here to just get the message that we are trying to send out there.
So what's happening today is family members that have lost someone, people in recovery, and others in our Hawaii Island Fentanyl Task Force that support a movement for education and prevention. And it starts with awareness and participation of the community. So today we have a participating community, and it's a great thing. We can't wait for somebody else to take care of this. We as a community must stand up to this.
So I think for us the events are always remarkable, but it's also understanding that there is a purpose for and the messaging for these events. And I think for me, a part of it is I feel happy about it, to do this, but at the same time, it just brings to the forefront that we still have an issue at hand, that we still have a problem on our islands.
We're here for this recovery walk because we owe our lives to this. We both were on the streets, homeless, hooked on fentanyl, and because of the medical team that helped us out and helped me out, and this recovery community, it saved our lives. We weren't in a place, we didn't have anything. And now we almost have 2 years clean and sober. We have a baby, we're married.
The first step is always the hardest. And what I want to just say is that there is help available for you. And even if it's not treatment in some other form, church, whatever it is, find something that works for you and help is available. Do not be afraid to ask for help.
First, we had to really hit bottom before we ever wanted it. And a lot of people hit that bottom multiple times, but if you try to go and get like medical attention or anything like that, the visit takes a couple weeks and you're not ready for a couple of weeks. You're ready right now. I reached out to my own family, which I didn't think that was going to work. I'd burned those bridges several times. The emotions that went along with it were a lot of fear, loneliness. Those are also the reasons that people usually use, But when you've been that far down, there's like really nowhere but up to go. When I reached out, I was able to find help. And then also we were able to find programs that helped. I went to a program called Bridge House, and then, they welcomed me with open arms. They helped me with my detox process. I also was able to use Hope Services. Hope Services helped us a lot. They helped us get into a house. And with that, I was able to get a job, use vocational rehab, and vocational rehab helped me get tools for my job. And now I have all my hours. I'm almost a licensed barber, you know. And so I work 5 days a week, and I'm able to sustain life for me, my family. My little brother also lives with me.
Seeing these people in recovery, how they come together and they're there to support each other is huge. It's huge. And I remember growing up, that's how we were, right? Like our local families, that's how we were. We just help each other. We're a community. And now we've grown, and there's so much more influence. We've kind of lost that, but I see that in these people. It's amazing. Like their community is amazing, and they do great things. Even if it's like just in their community, it's great. It's huge.
There is help out there. I'm sure that they don't think that it'll work for them. I'm sure that they feel like all their bridges have burned. But you don't have to do everything at once. Just the next thing. And you don't have to think about everything at once. If I thought about all the stuff that has happened between when I first got clean and now, and thought that I would have the things that I have, like I would have given up. I would have given up so quick if I knew that I was gonna have to be the primary support for 4 people, you know, on day one. You don't need to do that. Like even if you have a whole family with you, you don't need to do that. You just have to do the next right thing.
No matter how long I've been in the field, almost 20 years, one of the things that sticks out for me is that it never gets easier to see the memorial of the amount of people that we've lost their lives. And with those lives comes families. We have mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, children that have lost their members. So for me, that's the reason why we have these events, is to really bring awareness so that we don't lose any more of our ohana out there.
September 16th, 2023, we lost our baby brother to overdose, and the feeling that you go through is a roller coaster of emotion, from anger, frustration, and of course the pain of wishing that it was never true.
It's very, very traumatic for the family, my kids, my nephews. It can happen to anyone. Don't think that it can't happen to you or your family member. It can, so please raise awareness. We're out here raising awareness for our baby brother, Troy.
I would like justice. I would like whoever, the police or whoever to be in charge, crack down a little bit harder, because it is that simple to just bust people. Because lose somebody that's right next to you and you're the best thing in your life from somebody. So just keep everybody that you love real close and try your hardest to just protect them.
Can't take for granted life. Life is very precious. So I just want to raise awareness for all the drugs out there, the fentanyl, of course, and just people who are addicted. You never know when it's your turn. The one hit, one sniff, one pill can kill.
There are people here to support you. I know from experiences having those types of things in my own ohana, that I know that it tends to feel alone, and people think that you're supposed to have it all together. No, it doesn't happen. It affects all of us. So my message to family members and loved ones out there is don't give up, and don't be afraid to ask for help too as well.
If there's a family in this situation, or you never know if you're even gonna be in this situation, is even though they might be an addict and you don't know, and you're asking them how they doing, they're gonna tell you okay. But the thing is to maybe dig a little bit deeper and find out if they really are okay, because they're gonna say they're okay, but deep down they're struggling. And it's to help them, not bring them down, lift them up, support them, not criticize them. It's all about helping. It's people over things all day now. So yeah, just can't help to raise more awareness about this drug and drugs in general. Yeah.
So, you know, I've treated thousands of people with addiction over the last 30 years. I've never met one that wanted to become addicted when they started, whether it was to cigarettes or whether it was to some other drug, alcohol or opiates. And none of them ever planned and intended to have their life so disrupted by this disease of addiction. So addiction is a bad disease that good people can get, and they don't see it coming, and then it's almost too late. So we've got to go upstream. We've got to go to prevention and awareness. We can't wait for the Department of Education to get this in the schools. That'll take 5 years. We'll lose a lot of people. We as a community must rise up, bring awareness to this issue, bring education and prevention.
So obviously, very successful event. People in Hilo Kona never register, so we were thinking that no one was going to show up. But we had about over 150 people, and maybe some that weren't accounted for. So I really feel that it has definitely been successful, and we were able to deliver the message, and we were able to hand out 300 Narcan kits. So awesome.
Well, we saw sorrow, and if you've been to the memorial pop-up tent, you can see the sorrow there. And we've talked to people that have lost family members. And what we see in those that are most closely touched is they're coming out and they're saying, we're going to speak up against this. We're going to let other people know so that we don't lose another person on the Big Island from this problem. Again, it's got to come from the community. So that's been very hopeful. Also, we see a lot of volunteers that have been involved with the Hawaii Island Fentanyl Task Force from every sector of the community. And that's very positive because it's only by working together at this level. You know, people talk about things trickle down from the top, but in this instance, this has to trickle up from those of us with a voice in the community.
You know, I think for me, for the task force, is making sure that the message never goes idle. That we want to make sure that it's at the top of our ledge, at the top of politicians, you know, all of these things is to make sure that we never forget about the lives that we lost and that we never forget about the message, and we always feel, you know, find ways of saving others' lives. So there's so many people that I could mahalo. Obviously, we have Uncle, Wali Lau, who has been a part of this movement from the beginning. We have Dr. Kevin Coons. Like, I look up to them because they're retired, but they're passionate enough to help us sort of guide this movement. And of course, Dr. Kimo Alameda, who was really the face of all of this, that really made it easier for us to carry the message. And of course, Aaron, Hawaii Island Community Health Center, Dr. Aaron there, Pua, Karinaga, and all of our members who make up, we have over 20 agencies that make up this task force. We wouldn't be able to do it. And of course, the Big Island Substance Abuse Council. Just keep it relevant, keep it real, don't be afraid to ask for help. And remember that fentanyl kills, but we also have life-saving medication that can take care of it.
The preceding program was a production of Naleo TV.